CosMeetUp Chicago, I went to one of their events in July of last year, finally getting to the edit of this video. It's basically a large cosplay photography, costumer photography event where you got a bunch of photographers, a bunch of cosplayers getting together, taking some photos, making cool stuff. Let's check it out. In my case, it's quite a drive to get to their events, so this is the only one that I've been to at this point. CosMeetUp Chicago hosted its first event in July 2019. The idea was to provide cosplayers and photographers a space to network and collaborate that was safe for all the attendees. I believe they were doing this kind of sort of in response to a convention in this area that's got a questionable owner. So anyways, I'm not going to go into that, but...
How we doing? So we're going to take a quick minute to introduce all the photographers. I know Troy went through this with you. I'm just going to remind for people who might have missed it. Any photographer with a blue wristband is here for this event. If it's a photographer approaches you to take photos and they're not wearing a blue wristband, they are just their own person, and know that. Make an educated decision based off of that, okay?
Do these events cost anything? Nope, it's free to attend, though they might have a tip jar because it does cost money to either get permission to use certain areas or maybe just food that people bring, things like that. Time spent, anything to organize could cost money. And it says, can I invite my friends who also cosplay? Of course, these events are open to the public. Then here's I'm a photographer that would like to join. They want to be inclusive, but they do check them out and make sure that they're legit and safe for the cosplayers to deal with, because the reality of the situation is that there have been photographers that have taken advantage of cosplayers. Don't want to go into that, but yeah, I understand their point of view here. They take photos of the cosplayers, at least most of them, and then they have them fill out a little form. It works out, and I think it's a good idea to have everyone know who is what. Scott, Cosplay Bonsai, Photography Bonsai. Been doing cosplay photos, but I haven't been to one of your things before, so...
Oh, welcome.
Awesome, welcome.
Scott's been doing this probably longer than
2003.
2000, yeah.
The police did show up and talked and, didn't really cause any big problems, but it worked out, so that was good. This specific event was at a park in the Chicago suburbs area. Very beautiful park. There were water features, there was a bridge, different spots that worked pretty well for photos, so I think they picked a nice location. Photography-wise, I was using the Nikon Z5 with the 50mm f1.8s. Having the two card slots in Nikon Z5 means an instant backup. In a situation like this, where my honor is on the line, I want to make sure as much as possible that I'll get something out of it. With cosplay events like this, it's going to be a lot of editing after the fact. I really don't have time to do serious stuff on this quantity of photos. That said, it worked out well. I didn't spend too much time on the editing afterwards. I try to get a full body photo and then a close-up portrait style photo at the very least. Maybe some other ones. Verticals is usually the standard type of photo I do with cosplay, but horizontal is nice as well, especially when the background is good. So in a situation like this, with some water in the background, even though it's blurred out, it adds some additional interest to the photo. So the gist is that I was just trying to do what I could in the moment, not spending a huge amount of time per person, but getting a variety of photos for each person so that they got something out of it. When I ask someone for a photo, I want to make sure their time is worthwhile. They get something nice out of it. Then as the day went on, I was able to get a little bit more detail, more time spent with the cosplayers. In this case, got some water photos, a little bit more interest to the backgrounds. If you are a beginning photographer, events like this are good to help you practice taking photos of people. It's very good for learning how to pose them, how to interact in ways that work well to get the results that you're both trying to achieve. In this case, directing with your hands, doing things to position them without actually touching them is good. Just so I can see a bit of the blade.
Okay.
There you go.
Just right there?
Yeah.
Is that good?
That's good. See how my hand is?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. We'll try that. I'm gonna do some type of yeah, that's good. Just have it a little flatter to the...
This?
Yeah. Rotate a little bit this way.
Rotate?
Yourself?
Oh, myself? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm just trying to avoid a bunch of people in the background. Overall, a fun event, worked well organized. I enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll be able to go to one of their events in the future. So that was a look at the CosMeetUp Chicago event from 2022. Scott Photography Bonsai. Thanks.